Hello, I am Carrie, and this is Beyond the Womb Tarot, where I channel messages that help you continue to grow beyond the womb or expand your mind outside of your current comfort zone to enable you to become your highest self. All right, people, it is, by the time you watch this, it's going to be the full moon, the blood moon, the worm moon, um, the lunar eclipse. There's so much going on. I mean, it's all involving the same event, but it's kind of cool that we get to see this now. And I was like, I have to do a reading. I must. I got to see what's going on. What are the energies that we're getting? And this is that reading. It's going to be nice and short and sweet. But first, I just want to say thank you so much for liking, subscribing. Thank you for watching these videos. And let's get started. So I have already pulled the spread. And I'm using, normally I like to use my Queen of the Moon Oracle when I do full moon energy readings. But I don't know, I just felt compelled to use the energy oracle. I love that we have the goddess of the moon here, and we also have it coming out in this spread. So we got some nice moon energy. When I thought about this moon, and it's the worm moon, which I think people say, or the almanac says that it's because it's called the worm moon because it's about to be spring and the worms are coming up, you know, from the deep freeze. They're already like churning up the soil, and you'll be able to see them, like, I think they're like little baby eggs in the soil. I don't know stuff like this, but this is what my brain is telling me. They're little baby eggs in the soil, and then once the freeze thaws, they hatch and they start moving around, churning up the soil, and now it's a good time to start planting things. Either way, if that's true or not, it's called the worm moon, and it's called the blood moon right now because we're having this lunar eclipse. It's cool because I was reading about this. It was basically showing like it's the blood moon because the way that the sun is shining on the earth, it's, you know, the earth is like eclipsing the moon, but because the light source is like being refracted off of the earth, we're still getting some light, but we're getting the wavelengths of light that are able to refract, which is the red wavelengths. And so that's why it's called the blood moon, because it's going to be red. And I was like, that's interesting. It's making me kind of try to draw some parallels to the type of energy that we'll be feeling, because like just thinking about refraction and light and how like different lights help us see things differently. I don't know if I'm getting that here when I look at these cards, but let's see. Let's put it all together. We're starting here with the Healer of the Ages, Blossoming Abundance. Healer of the Ages is like literally like that. It's really good energy. It's like healing energy, it's loving energy. If we are feeling this energy right now, we might be feeling uplifted for no reason. We might be feeling joyous for no reason, but at the same time, sometimes healing can be difficult. Even if it's good energy that's being directed at us, we can be feeling down or sad, or like it can be we can get triggered. What's the thing in the movies where everything's going good and then that person is like, it's too much good happening, something's bad about to happen. It's kind of like that feeling of like dread because something could possibly happen even though everything's great right now. Like I'm kind of feeling that type of energy here when I see Healer of the Ages and Blossoming Abundance. Like I really do see good energy. I see like loving energy coming through right now. But I also feel like sometimes healing can be hard and difficult for people to accept or even open themselves to. And people can be getting triggered by this. That's evidence here when I see envy and cornucopia. Like if we were to literally read this, it's like a cornucopia of envy. It's like a lot of people to hate on at this time. But I don't even feel that energy right now. I feel like, because I'm not going to take this literally. I don't think you should ever take tarot literally. I really feel like this is an opportunity for you to really see the truth. It's like there's always two sides to every coin. Right now there's an opportunity to like, it's an abundance of opportunities for you to see both sides of the coin. It's interesting. I was observing something this week in my life. It wasn't a situation with me. It was something outside of myself, but I love to see things like that because sometimes it looks to me like a play. Like literally I've gone and watch the play. The stage is set and you see the characters come out. Right now I have been really seeing the characters come out all around me. I'm able to like really observe and understand what's going on when it comes to the dynamics that are behind things. And I feel like this is what this energy is when it comes to what we're feeling right now in this full moon, this blood moon, this lunar eclipse. You can really sit and watch the players on the stage. It would be helpful, more helpful for you to watch within yourself in your own life. But, you know, if you're like me, you just happen to see some things that happen in other people's lives, you know, you can also like see and understand that too. Why's my camera not focusing? So it's an opportunity to see both sides of the coin. If we're actually looking into our own lives and thinking about our own lives, it can literally be the way you think about things. This person in this envy card, they're standing in an archway. They're looking outside at all the beauty, goldenness, but they're not even realizing that, I mean, look at this gown. She's not lacking for anything. She's literally got on a gown. There's a platter of pearls in her hand. She's not lacking for anything, but she's like, man, but I want to be outside. I want to be with them. I want to go play with them out there. But not really like counting her own blessings or seeing her own value. And I really feel like we have the opportunity or option right now to see, we can see our own value and our own blessings. We can see, you know, what work we've put in. We can see how far we've come. We can literally look into ourselves and see like this lady, she's wearing these really fine garments. If she were focusing on herself, she'd see that she's also of value. She doesn't have to look outside of herself or even have others show it to her to see that she is of value. I feel like right now we have the opportunity to see that within ourselves, but we can also see how we don't value ourselves too. So it's like two sides to the coin. If we're thinking about value, it could be other aspects of self too. Looking at two sides of ourselves allows us to see, you know, both sides. Is like both the sides of us that is triggered by the thing that's happening, and the other side of us that, you know, has already kind of healed this part. But also being able to appreciate each side and appreciate like where it's coming from. I think sometimes we don't, like sometimes we might behave in certain ways and we don't pay attention to it, or we'll do something like, oh, why did you do that? Kind of like, you know, say that to ourselves instead of being like, I know I did that. I know you know, when that person said something to me, I got really defensive because it reminded me of this thing in the past. Because I've been through a lot. It's kind of like, you know, having your own back, basically. I feel like there's a lot of opportunities for us right now to see these things that are within us. And I won't even say allow them to come out, but kind of like understand them and where they're coming from. And we can make a choice whether or not to allow this same pattern, the same thing that keeps coming up for us to what is it called, rule us, or if we can find another solution in which we can move past it just in a better way. I feel like there's a cornucopia, a plethora of opportunities for us to do better. And we can see it and we can do better than we did last time. We'll see the same situations come up over and over and over again. And it's like, are you going to behave the same way, or are you going to do something a little bit different about it? Are you going to speak up this time? Or are you going to not speak up? Or if you spoke up last time, are you going to like, okay, last time it didn't work out because it was a little bit, got a little bit too rowdy. Might have been some yelling going on. Maybe this time I can calm it down. Maybe this time I can speak more clearly. Maybe this time, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's different choices and options that can be made. I feel like because this portal is sitting here open, it's an opportunity for us to elevate to our higher self, to the self that's out here in this sunlight, to the self who truly values ourselves and understands that there is both light and dark portions of ourselves. So there is no need to be upset about being in the dark. There's no need to be upset about being in the light. No need to like look back and be like, I wish I was here, or I wish I was there. There's always ups and downs. Like kind of sitting there in the middle and understanding like there's both of these aspects are you. Understanding why both of these aspects exist. And I don't know, it's like basically acceptance. It's acceptance of who you are, your story, what you've been through, even the things that trigger you. Even if right now you feel this healing energy, if it is like disturbing you in any way, I would really suggest like sitting back and observing, like, okay, what is it that I'm feeling? Why am I feeling this way? Instead of going straight towards a coping mechanism to, block out the pain or the feeling. I remember one friend when I was going through something and I was like, I hate this feeling. She was like, why don't you just embrace it? Embrace that feeling and see, like, what is it trying to tell you? And I was like, what? I could do that? I remember back then I was just not comfortable with a lot of my emotions. I was like, I felt that I shouldn't feel that way. So I was like, I can't feel this because I'm not supposed to feel that way. But once I embraced the emotion, it told me so much what I need to know about myself. It wasn't even about anything, like, it wasn't like, oh, I shouldn't feel this or it's bad or it's wrong. But it was like, no, this is a part of my story. I feel this way because this thing happened. And I feel this way because these are all the little, like, the spirals of emotions that happen after you go through something like that. It's not that you're not supposed to feel that way or you should be over it by now. It's kind of like this is a part of the story. It just really helped me understand both sides of me. The part of me that was, past it, who had, past this thing that has happened way in the past, and the part of me that still, anytime I had a trigger, could still feel those same emotions. And so it helped me to just embrace the emotions, to be like, this is a part of the picture too. Not only has this thing happened to me, but whenever I feel certain things or these emotions, I can trace it directly back to, okay, this is how I was feeling in that moment. This is why I do this when this trigger happens. It really helped me to understand myself better. And that was literally all I needed. I was like, oh, I just understand it better. I can let it go. I don't have to hold on to it or shrink away from it or feel bad. I can just, okay, interesting. And I feel like, even though this card says envy, I honestly don't feel. I think you can look at it as that. You can look at it as you not valuing yourself or not feeling at one or at balance with yourself. But I feel like right now this energy of the full moon is allowing us to stand here. It's like we can see, we're seeing, it's like you're able to see from a different light if you choose to. If you choose to see yourself not as good or bad, but as like a person with emotions, like a fully realized human being, and see all the things that come with that instead of what you should and shouldn't, or could and couldn't, or would and wouldn't, like all that mess. Like, push that to the side. Allow this different light to let you look at yourself in a different light and see, okay, this is who I am. Like, this is the full realm of me. I am both dark and light. I'm not afraid of either side. I don't feel like I have to be in either side. I feel like one point I might be over here in the dark, and one part I might be in the light. And different energies can be done, or different things can be done in those different energies. I'm thinking about like artists who create these really, really prolific albums. They were in the dark. They had gone through something. They had been beaten down, and they were like creating the most beautiful things. I remember one time when Mary J. Blige got divorced from her husband, somebody was like, oh my gosh, she about to make the best album ever. Because like that is where you go. Like you go within into that space. It's like a space of darkness. You go into that space to create the most beautiful things from the pain. It's like the transmutation. So why be afraid of that? Why envy the light? And then when it's time for you to be in the light, you can be there. Also know that you're safe in that light as well. So there's like no need to judge or feel any type of way, either way you are. But we're getting the opportunity to see it all, see the full realm. And we might even, especially with this cornucopia, might be going back and forth. You might get triggered and then figure it out and then get triggered and then figure it back out and then get triggered. Like you might be in the dark and the light. You could, even if you're creating right now or feeling very creative, you might be going within, creating something, and then coming back and presenting it. Going within creating, going back and presenting it. Like, it could be a lot of that going on right now too. You might be feeling that type of energy of needing to stay within, and then, okay, I need to go out now. But I need to stay in and I need to go out. And we have Journey and Goddess of the Moon. I love that the Goddess of the Moon is showing up right now because not only, like, to me, the moon represents uncertainty, it represents the unknown. But we're literally having the moon, which already represents the unknown, be eclipsed. And because it's being eclipsed, again, I just see the energy of a different light. And I feel like it's just illuminating something that we've not seen before. I'm not sure what it is, especially because we have Goddess of the Moon underneath journey. But I feel like on our way forward, maybe as we're going forward in our journey, we're going to kind of understand something a little bit better. Even though the Goddess of the Moon is not, because to me, in order for it to be revealing something, it would need to be in reverse. I don't feel like it needs to be in reverse in this instance because the moon is already doing something. It's not reversing, but it's doing something that makes me feel like illumination is happening. Um, but I feel like on this journey, especially when it comes to this dark and light and dark and light and dark and light, it is illuminating something to us. It's kind of helping to see ourselves a little bit better if we're interested in looking into it. But if we go straight to the coping mechanism and don't actually do a little bit of investigation on ourselves, we may not be able to catch these waves. Do we have adjacent possibilities and angel of strength? I'm talking about catching the waves and not running to the coping mechanism. When I was talking about all of the, like, seeing ourselves in a different light and talking about there being a cornucopia of opportunities, I see that here when I see adjacent possibilities and angel of strength. Maybe some of those things are going to be illuminated to you. I know, especially right now for me, it's like I've been operating in this one way, but I've been seeing that there's other ways in which I could operate. It's just up to me to do that. And the things that are holding me back are some of the same things that have held me back over my life. But I'm kind of seeing like, oh, I keep making this same choice over and over again. Am I going to make a different one? It's like, okay, adjacent possibilities, like multiple opportunities for me to make a different decision so that I can kind of create my life over anew. Because all you have to do is make a different decision than what you made yesterday to have a whole new life. Like, you just have to make one and you'll have a whole completely new life. You just make a different choice and then boom, it allows you to start over again. Create something new, see something different, get inspired in a new way. There's so many different options though that you can choose. Like, even if this thing that has been blocking you, just like something has been blocking me for a while, I can all of a sudden, like, boom, completely make a different option or different choice, or I can kind of like make a slightly different choice and then an even slightly different choice and then an even slightly different choice. You know, there's like a bunch of different ways that this can be done, but I feel like you would need to have the strength and resolve in which to do it. Can I be I'm just going to do it one time and then never going to have the resolve again? I feel like because especially we have this journey card out here again, or this journey card out here, it's like a new journey. It's like undertaking something new. This isn't just like a decision or a moment in time. It would have to be a major choice to change your life, not just you know what, today I'm going to go left. Maybe that will work for some, but I really see like a decision to plan differently. Like, I'm going to be different in this way, but I cannot just do it once. I have to continue to do it. I have to continue to confront this. I have to continue to show up in this way. I cannot just do it one time and expect something to change. Anyway, let's get some advice. So, I was talking about the healer of the ages. It's like it's feeling really nice, good vibes, but sometimes those healing vibes can trigger you, and that's why I'm seeing storm warning come here. But because this is advice, it's like when those storms come, ride the waves. Like, really ride the wave to a new destination, ride the wave to a different decision, ride the wave to like actually allow the healing to occur. I'm just thinking about like wounds. If you get a wound and it gets infected, you can't just like put the medicine on it. You have to clear away the infection. You have to clean it up first, and sometimes that involves putting like alcohol on there, or what is it, peroxide? I don't know. Do people use that anymore? Putting something on there that might burn first before you're able to put the soothing balm on there and cover it up. It's like you have to You have to cleanse it first. And I feel like that's what this energy is talking about, this storm warning. It's good healing vibes coming through, but the healing vibes are causing a little bit of a shakeup. But the advice is like to appreciate where you are now. Appreciate what you've gone through. Appreciate your strength and resilience that you've also already displayed. But appreciate both sides of you. Appreciate the part of you that is not quite healed yet. And appreciate the fully healed part of you. Maybe you haven't gotten to know that one yet. But understand like that one is still a part of you. Like it's you, just maybe in the future. It's you making different choices. It's you that is more dedicated to being that version of you. Like it's still you though. And I think appreciating that part of you and understanding like that might not be where you are right now, but it is possible for you. What do you need to do to get there? That's what I'm getting here from the 7th chakra archangel Uriel. I like how she's looking out into the distance, like she's looking out to the distance because especially when I'm looking at this right now, we're talking about healing. We're talking about like maybe right now there's some triggers going on and we're not where we want to be, or we're not in that place where we are fully healed. Keeping your eye on the prize. It's like, okay, the fully healed version of me, what would they look like? What would they be doing? How would they be acting? What kinds of things would they be doing every day? Like what types of habits would they have? What kind of people would they surround themselves with? Really keeping your eye on the prize there, understanding, again, that version of you is still you. So it's you, but with different behaviors and attitudes and like responding to things differently, understanding that part. It's like, okay, if I understand that is me, but I'm doing different stuff, then what different stuff do I need to start implementing right now? That's what I see that she's looking at. She's looking at that part, like that version, and aligning herself to it slowly. That's what I see from the angel of balance. I was talking before about like not just thinking that you can just do one thing and then change is going to be made. When I think of balance, I think of like walking on a tightrope. You cannot maybe you can run across it very quickly, like just go across it fast. But you see those people on the tightrope, they'll go forward, they'll go back, they'll do whatever it is they need to do to keep their balance and stay on their rope. And so if it means they have to take a couple steps back, they will. And then they keep going forward, but they just have to keep their balance. And that is what I feel like the advice is. It's like, yes, these things are being shown to you. You might be triggered. You might be feeling inspired to level up, to do better, to grow, to expand, to, open your mind. But there is no need to just, I don't know. I was going to say do psychedelics and feel that you're healed. Like there's no need to do that. What you would need to do, and this is the advice that I'm seeing here, is to really take the time to nurture yourself, get to know yourself, understand, like do your best to see where it is that you are and where you want to be, and chart the course between those two lines. Do it in a way in which you'll be loving yourself. Angel of balance. Walk slowly across that line. Don't run and then kind of take and just pray oh, I pray I won't fall off this line even though I'm running at breakneck speed and I'm not really worrying about my balance. I'm just running and hoping that my momentum will push me forward. That's a way to do it. But I feel like professionals and people who are truly dedicated to the cause are going to take their time and walk it slowly. If they gotta walk back, they'll do that. They'll figure out how to get across, but in a way that allows them to keep their balance and really maintain control over their body. Okay, that is your full moon energy reading. I think it's really sweet energy. I think it's really loving. I think especially when it comes to taking it slow and being more professional about it and being more loving to yourself and not just trying to get to the end goal, right? It's kind of taking the time to nurture yourself to the end goal. I think it's a beautiful energy. All right, I'll see you on the next one.